What's up everybody, it's Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing the Adidas Nemeziz Tango 17 Plus 360 Agility in the triple black colorway. I've reviewed the shoe twice and that's still a mouthful. I still can't get it right. Thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. But with all that being said, let's get into it. Today, Adidas released the second colorway of the Nemeziz Tango, which of course is a triple black colorway. The first colorway was the black and white colorway, or the zebra colorway as people have started to call it. I've also done a review of that sneaker, so if you want to check it out, make sure to click the link at the top of the screen. This time around, nothing's really changed. It's the same exact shoe that we reviewed before, except of course in triple black. If you're not familiar with the Nemeziz Tango 17 Plus 360 Agility, that name sucks. But back to what I was saying, basically what Adidas did is they took the upper from one of their soccer sneakers and dropped it on the Ultra Boost midsole and outsole tooling. So you basically have the Nemeziz Tango Ultra Boost, I guess. So jumping right into the shoe, here it is, the Adidas Nemeziz Tango. That's all I'm gonna call it because that name is ridiculous. I really dug the original zebra colorway because it was so different, but there's something to be said about how clean and simple this triple black colorway is, and I think out of the two, this might be my favorite. Starting off with the upper, just like the previous Nemeziz Tango, instead of primed it, Adidas has actually used one of their technologies called torsion wrap. It's a technology that Adidas pulled off their soccer shoes, as I mentioned before, and it's really similar to like an elastic waistband, if you want to think of it like that. Or I guess maybe it's more similar to like a really elastic seatbelt. The material itself is definitely more structured than primed knit, so when left on its own, it definitely holds its shape, which in some ways is good, in some ways I'm not a huge fan of it. Because it is such a stiff material, you do get a lot of support, which is a good thing. However, on the other side of that coin, the material, like I said, is not that soft, so it's really not that comfortable unless you like sort of a tight fit. It also isn't very breathable, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but when you're used to wearing Ultra Boost, you might find that you take that breathability for granted. It's a little bit harder to tell on this colorway of the sneaker, but you do have the torsion wrap sort of overlapping each other up throughout the middle of the shoe. Adidas says this design is inspired by athletic wraps, which makes total sense. One thing you'll notice when you look closer at the shoe is that each one of these straps actually has 3 stripes embroidered onto it. On the previous pair, the base strap was white and then the embroidered areas were black. On this particular pair, they are both shades of black, but the base strap is more of like a bluish black and the embroidered black is closer to a true black. Not a subtlety that most people will notice. In fact, I don't think even the camera can pick it up, but you do notice it when it's in hand. Moving back on the lateral side of the sneaker, you have Adidas's 3 stripes in this fuse overlay material. I'm not actually sure if that's 3M, but let me check really quick. It's not 3M. Inside the shoe, you have an all-black insole that's stitched to the rest of the shoe, so you're not going to be able to take this out if you want to. Other than the upper ankle area, there isn't really a lot of padding in the shoe, so for me, I found that a little bit uncomfortable, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. One thing I'm not a fan of on this shoe are these sharp edges along the ankle area. They kind of dug into my foot on the previous pair that I reviewed, and this pair really isn't any different. I'd suggest probably wearing some higher socks so that these don't touch your skin. As for fit, I'd say go true to size. The last pair I had, I went down half a size, and I really regretted it because the upper is so stiff that I didn't have a lot of room for my toes to move. I also tried on a half a size up in the Adidas store and it still fit a little bit big, a little bit loose, so I definitely suggest going true to size. Moving around to the back of the shoe, you have your standard Ultra Boost heel cups in matte black. One thing I really don't like about this sneaker is that no matter where you look on it, there's a ton of glue marks. I think they're a little bit more obvious on this colorway because they're shiny and they're also more of like a white or light gray. It's really not a big deal, but when I'm spending $200 on a sneaker, I don't want to be seeing glue marks all the way around the midsole and then even some up around the ankle. I think that's kind of weird. It's almost like whoever was putting this heel cup on kind of touched around the ankle area here afterwards and got glue all over it. It just kind of sucks. I'd love to say that this is just an isolated incident, maybe just on this sneaker or maybe on my pair, but I've looked at multiple pairs. A buddy of mine bought a pair. I checked out a couple different pairs at the Adidas store and you could see it all over all these sneakers. That's probably nitpicky, but again, I spent $200 on this shoe. I want to be getting the best shoe possible. Continuing on, you've got everyone's favorite part of a triple black Adidas sneaker, the blacked out boost. Now I'm sure you know by now that Adidas can't actually black out the boost itself because if they add dye or add a different material to the boost material, it changes the chemistry and it just doesn't feel the same. So Adidas's solution for the last couple years has just been to paint or coat the boost, which is fine. It's not the best, and when you get scratches and scuffs, you definitely see through to the white boost, and over time, it will wear away a little bit, like you'll get a little bit of cracking, but nothing major. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's not an ideal solution, but you get the same effect visually, so it works. Finally, moving to the bottom of the shoe, you've got your standard Continental outsole in black. Overall, other than the crazy long name and the frustrating glue marks, I really dig this sneaker. It's a different look for the Ultra Boost, which I dig. This triple black colorway is really, really clean. It's just, it's just a dope sneaker. Comfort-wise, because you've got an Ultra Boost midsole on there, the step-in comfort is great. It's pretty much the same as all the other Ultra Boost sneakers. The only thing that I don't really love about the shoe is that the upper is a little bit too stiff, which some people may like, but I'm so used to the Ultra Boost upper because I rock them so often. It's not as nice. If you're trying to grab a pair of these for yourself, you might have trouble finding them for retail. They sold out instantly online, and there may still be a couple pairs in store, but I kind of doubt it. So your only choice is really to grab these for resale, but the good news is resale is pretty much retail right now. So you can find these for probably $240 or $260, which really isn't bad. My only suggestion is that if you're trying to grab these, grab them sooner than later, because as you've probably seen with previous Ultra Boosts, the price usually skyrockets after a couple months when no one can get their hands on them anymore, so grab them soon. Now that we've got the review out of the way, let's throw these guys on feet and see how they look. That's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Make sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below letting me know what you think of the Nemeziz Tango and whether you prefer the triple black colorway or the zebra colorway. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to Seth Fowler if you want to see more content just like this. And follow me on all other forms of social media. The links will be in the description below.